people hate anything that is related to that. Others do not know or it barely knows about it. Most know, but they related to something made for children, and a few have been strongly influenced, have alive watching and enjoying this particular style of animation and developing values with a great importance concurrently with the strong and diverse feelings. And yes, as strange as it sounds, I'm talking about anime. For those people who don't know about this topic, I will explain it below. Anime is a style of Japanese animation which has emerged from comics of the same Oriental origin, also known as mangas. And what have I to say about this topic? Well, beyond the simple favoritism that I have to this style of animation, I choose the anime because it has been great reputation in recent years, according to a graph of the statistical portal Statista. From the period about 2002 until 2015, the anime industry has acquired a large number of earnings in a global scale. So, the history of anime begins in the second decade of 20th century with a series of short films similar to those found in other countries influenced by the works of Disney. Sometimes after the Second World War, large companies started to appear dedicated to both television series and feature films, among which Toei Animation stands up. Although many remained active in the last decade of the 20th century and continued at the beginning of the 21st century, a series of directors and creators of stories have achieved their own reputation, either by works of great fame such as Akira Toriyama with Dragon Ball and Masashi Kishimoto with Naruto, as for his long and winning trajectory as Hayao Miyazaki with My Neighbor Totoro, or as Rumiko Takahashi with Inuyasha or Raman 1.2, etc. Now that I have introduced you a little more to that topic, I have acquired a piece of basic knowledge. Now it's time to deep down. It's time to move to anime in the society. As you could see early in the graph of Statista, the anime has earned a lot of popularity in recent years, and along with this popularity has increased the population of a social group known as otaku. This growing group is not only developing in the anime, but from this side of animation have been opened the oriental culture of countries such as China, Japan, and Korea. So, why is the anime getting popularity? This phenomenon is related to different types of anime that it sends according to the type of audience that looks at it. For the youngest is the gender of Kodomo, which means child. These are simple stories about customs and traditions, which a simple language is used and with some learning function is even introduced. Then, for teenagers about 20 to 15, is the shonen and shoujo. The first one usually develops stories with the adolescent boy as the main character, and the plots can involve action and fights of all kinds. And the second one is the equivalent of shonen for female audience. Their stories are about entanglements, love conflicts, and comedy. In them, we also talk about topics such as friendship and courtship. At last, for mature people are the seinen, which is characterized by having deeper and more explicit content related to politics with a high level of violence, and yosei with more realistic versions both in terms of the characters and the story, and usually they are based on the daily life of a main character who is usually a woman. Awesome? Now, everyone knows what is anime, but for those who consider itself as an anime lover, it can call himself an otaku. What represents a true otaku are the likings, which are generally inclined to anime, manga, cosplay, television series, movies, comics, video games, and computers. Although there is also otakus from other areas, such as the military world, movies and action books, violence or fantasy, music, etc. In the same way that there is a social group known as otaku, there must be conventions addressed to this public so they can express themselves in a better way. An anime convention is an event of gathering with a primary focus on anime, manga, and Japanese culture. They feature a wide variety of activities and plans, with a large number of attenders participating in cosplay that most one type of fan conventions. Anime conventions are also used as a vehicle for industry in which studio, distribution, and publishers represent their anime-related releases. Anyway, as you can see, the anime has influenced many young minds and will continue to do as long as it's possible. But this influence does not always become good. On the good side, the anime can motivate the creativity of young people who are influenced. On several occasions, it can teach important values that no longer teach Western cartoons. It opens their minds about knowing other cultures, and it's an incentive to learn a new language like Japanese. But in the bad side, the anime can make you waste their lives and lose opportunities. This becomes a bias, and their performance in various areas such as school and work descends abruptly. Also, the arts are severely damaged as a consequence of too many hours in front of a screen, and in some cases, they develop aggressive behaviors consistent with scene programs that are not made for their age, such as gore, horror, and psychological anime. Now, to wrap up, I want you to make into account everything I just talked about. The anime is something really fantastic and unique, but it should not be taken lightly. Those who take it without taking into account the risks that can lead to a short time may have been absorbed by a bias and let their life mess up without even caring. Thank you, everybody. My name is Carolina Martínez.